Oh, no. Exit the full screen. Hey, how are you, Heidi? Hey, Lori. So quiet. Hello, Miss Sheila.
Hello, I'm going to mute myself out for just a second. I'll be right back.
Okay. Can y'all hear me now? You could barely hear me before. Did y'all have a good day? Yes, no, maybe so. I'm still in my workout clothes. I never took a shower. I'm a mess. I'm like, Sheila Medina's on our call. She's going to be on the phone, so she can't see us. It's Tammy. Oh, you're like big in the bed. I was like, oh, Lord. Where's my...
He's not feeling good.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Riley's not feeling good. Everybody at my house is kind of wah.
Yeah. You know how it is when men are sick.
I do know. I do know what that's like.
It's like having a little...
Shut up. I haven't not done anything today.
He's been great.
He's pushing through like a man.
I got a bounce house today.
So did I.
I lifted the bounce house today.
So did I.
Yeah, right. Went shopping.
Miss Sheila, you're back with us.
I'm back with you.
Awesome. I'm just going to let everybody know that's on so far. Sheila is our special guest, as you know, and she is so, so sweet. She has had, and I'll let her tell you, but she is so kind to be with us despite all the crazy that's going on with them. They have sold their house and they're homeless as of tonight. So she was at a hotel and then she was working on a special super secret Plexus surprise. And so she's been very busy and I kept giving her an out saying, you know, we can reschedule this. And she was like, no, we'll do this. I just can't be on a Zoom. I'll have to be on the phone. So she's been kind enough to join us by phone. We will have this recorded for those of you that want to get this to your teams. I'm going to let her get started real quick. a few minutes, not too long tonight, so she can get back to getting things arranged and take care of business. But Sheila Medina, as most of you know, I like to call her very affectionately the mama of Plexus because she was our very first Diamond Ambassador. And I think it's so appropriate that we have her on our call tonight. You know, in our business is full of ups and downs. And she has always exemplified for me from afar someone that doesn't get really blown with the wind when there is an up or with a down. And she's probably, as she'll probably share with us for a few minutes, really weathered some ups and downs with Plexus and our company and her journey in this business. And yet she's still here and she's very successful. And I think there's a lot to learn from that when the minute we've had hiccups with our back office and the challenges that we've had, that we know that we can still push through and that there's still value there. And so without further ado, Sheila, I would just love for you to share with everyone a little bit about your story and really what it was, or how it was in the beginning, what were times like, because there's so many of us on the phone that just kind of jumped in and had resources and had the internet and everything else.
Right. Right. Well, it's interesting because first I want to say congratulations to everyone that's on the call tonight that you take time out of any busy day. I mean, mine is kind of a little crazier than ever today. I find myself homeless, but other than that, it's all good. So we're just excited to be here. You have to excuse me, I'm in a car, so I may sound a little weird, but hopefully everybody can hear me okay. But, first I want to just say thank you for being on the call, but also thank you for weathering this particular storm, because I always find there'll be many, many storms through your business, and this is just going to be one storm. We used to joke all the time and say, Plexus was took us by storm, because every time Plexus came to town where we lived on the Gulf Coast, we'd have some kind of weird storm that we've never even had, like a tornado. We're like, we don't have tornadoes. I mean, just craziness. Every time they come to town, it would just be storming. So this is just another storm that we all need to weather. And I'll tell you, when your back office, you outgrow your back office, you have to do something. And there's no way of foreseeing what's going to happen and what's not going to happen. But I will tell you guys that most likely when the first of the year comes along, we'll all look back and say, oh my gosh, how do we ever make it without that new back office? So I'm just going to tell you to weather this storm, because the people that weather it, they will make a difference in Plexus. And the people that give up too soon and too quickly, they weren't going to make it anyway. So, you've got to be able to weather the storm. If I had quit when we had our first little hiccup, I would have quit just probably, before I even got started, because you see, I had the hardest time even getting signed up with this company. They were going through a transition. They were being bought by our current executives, and I couldn't find anybody to sign me up. I just wanted to get the breast kits at wholesale, for heaven's sakes, to actually propel me in my other business. And there was nobody that really could figure out how to sign me up, because they were going through a transition. Does that sound familiar? So,
Yes,
I was like, oh my gosh, well, okay, I'll wait. And that was June of 2008. I did not get sponsored until September of 2008. How many of you have someone that would wait 4 months to get started just to get a breast kit at wholesale purchasing? That's what I did, because you see, I weathered that first storm and didn't even know that was going to be the first of so many up-and-coming storms that I was going to have to weather. So just congratulations to all of you on the call tonight. And let me just assure you, you want to weather this storm, because you want to be here when we get to the other side. And so I eventually did get signed up. The executive team took over, became a part of a breast health company. A little less than a year later, in July of 2009, got a call, asked me if I would try a new product. I just put on 30 pounds from a hormone issue, and they said that a side benefit of this product could possibly help me lose a little weight. Well, who's not wanting to lose a little bit of weight? So I decided to start drinking Plexus, which, by the way, did not have a name back then. It was just some stuff in a white packet in a plastic jar that they told me to drink. And you know what? I was kind of like, if you tell me to drink the Kool-Aid, I'm going to drink the Kool-Aid, because I kind of hoped and wished it would work. And you know what? It did. And in September, we eventually brought out Plexus Slim, which what we know of it as right now, Plexus Slim. And then my good friend, Ambassador Patty Cuevas, said, you know what? She was already with me in the breast part, and she said, my mom needs to lose weight. My son-in-law needs to lose weight. I need to lose a little weight. Come to my house and share about that product. So I did. And unbeknown to me, and I know a lot of you know who he is, but Coach was sitting over there eating sandwiches in the South. We believe we should feed anybody or everybody when we have a party of any kind. So even though we called it a weight loss party, we had wonderful food to eat.
That's
and he was hearing about that Plexus. And, you know, from September to December, he lost 36 pounds and came off 2 of the 4 insulin shots he was on. So we basically went full-time in January. And you know what we went on? A hope and a prayer. A hope that people would try this product, and a prayer that it would work for them like it had worked for a few of us. And then maybe down the road, we'd see a little bit of financial success by just sharing with others. And you know what? That year, 2010, our company did just shy of $1 million. But that following year, when we were really starting to get the testimonies were starting to roll in, we did over $10 million just the following year. And by 2012, we did $36 million. And by 2013, we were doing $160 million a year. And of course, this year and last year, we're already doing over $30 million a month. You guys, I can remember when we were so excited in August of 2010 when we had our first $1 million month. So we've come a long way in a short time, but we've only done that because a few of us were willing to weather the storm. So my question to you tonight is, are you willing to weather the storm so that you too can be a success in Plexus? The only difference between me and you and many of the other jewels that are out there is we have just shared this product with more people than you have, and we have weathered more storms than you have. So when you've done the work, the financial part will show up, and it's such a blessing to be able to help people not only physically but financially too. And so we went out on a hope and a prayer, never dreaming that just a few years later, we'd be going to Hawaii on Emerald extravaganzas. We'd be making 6-figure incomes. We'd be driving Lexuses. I mean, who would have ever thought? Because I lost, 22 pounds and 12 inches in those first 90 days, and because Patty lost a little weight, and because Coach came off the insulin shots, that it would change my future and their future and so many other people's future. But that's exactly what happened. And what if we had waited for it to work for certain people before we would have shared it with others? You guys, we'd still be back at square one, or else someone else will be on this call tonight, not me sharing with you. And so I'm just so happy that I weathered the storm, and I plan on weathering this one too. And so I'm open for any questions that you may have. I hope that shares a little bit of light on how we all got started in the very beginning.
Thank you so much. That is awesome. I did have one question. You talk about you're kind of known, one of the things of the many that you're known for is your understanding and explanation of using the power of 3. So often people get started and then they're like, well, I don't know a lot of people, or I can't stand in front of a big group of people to share. I'm not as dynamic as you are. I don't have as big of a personality. Can you just touch on what your experience has been with the power of 3 and how every person has the same potential to grow a huge business?
Right. We did have a few ambassadors when I first started with the breast health company, but I was the first ambassador to hit all the ranks. And so the very first rank to reach was silver, which is one of my favorite ranks. And, I'm one of those people, I need a picture. If you want me to understand what you're talking about, then show me a picture. And so there were no pictures. We had no brochures or PowerPoints or, in fact, even a back office that even showed the product. I mean, we had none of that. And I needed a picture, so we created this level 3 worksheet. And I thought, I can find 3 people that would be interested in perhaps either getting healthy for themselves or maybe helping other people get healthy. And therefore, if I shared it with just those 3 people, I could become a silver ambassador. And it doesn't matter how you do it, whether it's one-on-one in a small group or in a large meeting. There was no such thing as a large meeting when we got started. I had what we call weight loss parties, which you now call Sip and Sees. They have lots of little cute names now. I did one in my car. I just locked the doors and didn't let the 3 people out and told them about the product.
Awesome.
You have this beautiful catalog. That does all the work for you. You know what? All you need to do is hit the high points on a page, and it shows everybody, here's the retail price, here's the preferred price, here's the wholesale price. So there's really just a couple questions you ask. Which product do you think would best serve your needs, and which price would you rather get it at? And when people say wholesale, I always say, well, let's see if you qualify for that, because our company is looking for people to share this product with other people and do $100 worth of business a month. Are you willing to do that? And if they say yes, then I say, oh my gosh, you can totally become a wholesale member. And if they say no, then I'm just as excited, because they can become a preferred customer or retail. But the Power 3 came up with, you know what, if we just shared it with 3 people over and over again and teach them to do the same thing until we got to where we wanted to go, how powerful would that be? Because you only need 3. But if you just keep doing it over and over and over again, that's all we did. I never thought past those 3. But the minute I got my 3 and shared with them how to get their 3, I immediately went back and started looking for another 3. Excuse me, we don't live in a perfect world, so not all 3 people are going to do what you ask. Right. So you got to get your 3 over and over and over again. But if you teach your people to do the exact same thing, I didn't say do it for them, because in the beginning we made so many mistakes. Oh my gosh, we did this whole thing where we give people, you know, oh, let me give you my best friend because we know that you'll be successful if I give you my best friend. And then your best friend was like, well, wait a minute, I thought I was signing up for you. No, I'm going to put you under Sally because I know she wants to grow a business. And you know what Sally did? Sally just waited for me to give her another good friend of mine. So Sally never built a business because Sheila was doing it for her. So we just learned, you know what, if we'll just teach and train people on how to become silver over and over and get them to train their people, then everyone can be successful. So it is the simple power of duplication by 3. And that's what I teach. That's what we've all taught since the very beginning. And you know what? If it works, why recreate the wheel? So, you know, I know a lot of people say, oh my gosh, if she's going to talk about a Power 3, I don't want to listen. But you know what? If it works, why recreate the wheel? And it does work. We see too many people get to silver and get excited about where they can go from here.
Awesome. Awesome. Who else has a question for Sheila? Okay, Tanner.
Hey, Sheila. So my question is, when you were trying to grow, what were you doing every day for your business?
You know, I do today something that we started in the very beginning, and that we didn't have a name for it, but we knew now. It's called the Perfect 10. It's when we decided, okay, how many hours or how many minutes a day or a week do you have to work your business? Because not everybody will be the same. Some people's part-time is 2 hours. Some people's part-time is 20 hours. Some people want to work it full time, but some people only have 30 minutes a day to work their business. So here's what I'm going to tell you. The Perfect 10. You want to share this product with 3 people, whether it be daily or weekly or bi-weekly or whatever, however much time you've got to work the business. But share the product with 3 people. Share the opportunity with 3 people and stay tuned in to at least one Plexus event a week. And then if you have 3 team members, you want to share with them something that's working for you. So it's 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 1, which is the Perfect 10. Share the business with 3 people, share the product with 3 people, share your knowledge with 3 of your team members, and then stay plugged into at least one Plexus event per week. And that could be a team call, a meeting, the Wednesday night call, whatever you want it to be, okay? But I just found that if I kept sharing with enough people, then it would work. And that's what we do. And I'm going to tell you, you guys with the catalog, you could sit down with 3 people a week and just go over the catalog, and guess what you've done? You've shared the product and the business all at one time. I can show people in 20 minutes you can do a Perfect 10. If you don't have any team members, then the other 3 isn't applicable. If you do, then you can share with them, oh my goodness, this is what I did this week and it worked for me. So duplication in everything you do. If we make it too hard, nobody wants to do it. If you started this business today, or if I did, and somebody handed me a 50-page manual of their own personal things that they think I should do to become successful, I'd be like, oh, I got in to get my product at wholesale and was hoping to make a little money on the side. I don't want a 50-page manual or a 150-page manual. But if you get people in and say, you know what, if you could find the time, whether it be weekly, daily, bi-weekly, or once a month, to do a Perfect 10, I believe you too could be as successful as you want to be. And remember, everybody's success could be different than what you see them as being successful. So I'm going to tell you to help as many of your team members go silver. That's why we have the silver promo every month with the company. The Silver Star Trip is because we know how important the silver position is. And then work your best to do a Perfect 10, whether it be weekly, daily, bi-monthly or monthly, however it is. But it's so important to share the product and share the opportunity with people every day. And I'll tell you, if you don't have anybody to really say, I just don't know where to get started, then I'm going to just start you as simple as making 2 contacts a day, no matter how that is. It can be just saying hello to a neighbor. It can be in the middle of Lowe's, a lumber building store, whatever, just making contact with somebody. And if you make contact with them, you could simply say something like, I am marketing a new product in the area. Would it be okay if I gave you my card because maybe you know someone that could benefit from our products that are helping people get healthier? I've never had anyone turn me down from handing them my business card. In fact, I usually say, so do you have a business card? And that gives me a follow-up. If you like to post on Facebook, if you post 4 times a day, only one of them should be about Plexus. You shouldn't be a Plexus ad. You should be people wanting to watch your post and then every once in a while seeing you say something about Plexus. So if you don't know where to start, make 2 contacts a day and make sure that 1 out of every 4 posts is about Plexus on Facebook, or if you're doing it by social media. Even your contacts can be by email, social media, one-on-one, in person, whatever that is. But I promise you, if you'll just take 40 days and say, I'm going to contact 2 people every day, and I'm going to post once a day about Plexus, and then post a little bit of personal, and then Friday I'm going to follow up, you will be amazed what can happen to your business.
That is awesome. Great advice.
Thank you.
Sure.
How about one more question for Miss Sheila?
Okay.
Anybody else have a question? Any takers? They're all smiling at me. I think I've watched several of them take some notes. Miss Sheila, you've given us some great, just some refreshers, but also just great insight. And I love your passion because 7 years later, almost 8 years into this business, you still approach it with such magnetism and such excitement that it is a contagious feeling just hearing you talk about it. And I think there's really something to that. What do you think it is that inspires you daily beyond your initial success to stay like that and to kind of really exude this kind of passion for what you do each and every day?
Because I know that there are people out there every night saying a prayer and wishing and hoping that someone like me or someone like you would come across their path. And so my fear is that I've kept it a secret, and I haven't let that one person that's been praying and wishing for something that I have to come across their way. And so how can I not get excited about sharing this business when I know there are thousands and thousands of people out there that just wish and dream they had what I have, whether it be physically or financially or both. And so I just about can't sleep at night thinking about all the people that I could be telling about this product, people that I don't even know that may come across my path one way or the other. So I get so excited about the thought of helping just that very next person. And I only think one person at a time. And in the same way, I don't let one person steal my dream, because see, no one person will break or make me in this business, because behind that one negative person is tens of thousands of people that wish they knew about Plexus, and it is our job to go out there and make sure that we tell the world.
So true. I know I agree with you. I know everybody on the call agrees. Sheila, thank you so much. Tell your husband thank you. Tell your super secret guest that you're with hello from us, and we hope to see you very soon. We again thank you so much for your time, and congratulations on your new home, wherever it may be.
Oh, it's only less than a mile from my original home. It's crazy, okay? But that's a whole nother call.
Okay. That'll be another time to catch up.
Yeah, if you'd asked me 4 weeks ago, was I moving, I would say, no, I'd never want to sell my home. But then all of a sudden, one thing happened and another thing happened. And sometimes you know you're doing the right thing when all the pieces fall into place. And so that's what's happened this week. So I'm excited, and I feel like I'm on a new adventure. And so I have a whole new neighborhood to tell about Plexus. So I'm excited.
Awesome. Well, have a wonderful evening. Thank you again.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Good night. All right, guys. That was awesome. Great to hear from somebody that's been through it all, right? Wow, so good. Phil's standing over me, so I don't know if he wants to say something or not. He's just being weird, but there's not very many of us on the call, but I wanted to remind you that we have lots to finish up, lots of exciting things coming in December, and we do have another special guest for next Monday, so be watching the team page to see who it is. All right, good night, guys. Have a great night.